Hi guys, so a couple of weeks ago we were over in Vegas for Viva Las Vegas, which is an annual rockabilly event held at the Orleans Hotel, and this year was its 20th year. Happy birthday, Tom! So we have turned it into like our annual pilgrimage. It's our 4th time going. Our first time was back in 2013, and we just can't stand missing it now. We love it so much. So we headed over. We left London on Monday night, had a night in Dublin with my mum, and then headed to JFK and then on to Las Vegas. So it was a bit of a long flight, but it wasn't nearly as bad as when we were having to come from New Zealand. We arrived in Vegas at 8 p.m. on the Tuesday night, and I just unpacked my stuff, got everything laid out, and we basically just went straight to sleep. Luckily we hadn't slept too much on the flight, so we were able to sleep all the way through that night. I did wake up a little bit early in the morning, but thankfully the jet lag spared us. Since Wednesday is the day before Viva Las Vegas really starts, everything kind of kicks off on Thursday, we decided to meet up with some of our New Zealand friends who were also already there. So we all met up at IHOP for pancakes because, like, I just freaking love pancakes so much, and IHOP is amazing.
Drizzle. Oh my god, drizzle on. Good drizzle actually.
We picked an IHOP that was about a 15-minute walk down the road to the Charleston Antique Mall, which was next on the list of where we wanted to go. So after breakfast, with very happy tummies and lots of coffee, we headed down towards Charleston Antique Mall. We were so happy to get to the Charleston Antique Mall by the time we did actually get there, because even though it was only like a 20-minute walk, it was hot that day. The Charleston Antique Mall is full of amazing treasures. I try and go there every year, especially since last year there was a lady selling a whole bunch of lucite purses. Like, her booth was just lucite purses, and me and my friend Shane last year were just like, what is going on? All the lucite. It was so good. So I just made like a beeline for that booth when I got there. I nearly freaked out because it wasn't there anymore, and I was like, but I want to buy a lucite purse. But thankfully there was a new booth in a different part of the mall that had even more lucite purses than what the lady did from last year had. So I was just like, whoop, whoop. I was very tempted by some of the clear purses, but I decided to go with a gorgeous black and gold one that is a little bit different to what I've already got and was a good price for the condition it was in. There were a few purses that I thought were a little bit overpriced considering kind of the markings and the rusty hinges that they had. So it's really good with lucite purses to be able to have a look, test everything out, kind of open up the lid, see how everything kind of performs before you can buy. So I like to definitely buy them in person if possible. After the Charleston Antique Mall, we did go for a quick little shop over at the outlet mall, the North Outlet Mall. Matt wanted to get some Levi's, which of course are much cheaper here than what they are in the UK. And then we headed back to the hotel, picked up our wristband, and got ready for our anniversary dinner at the Eiffel Tower restaurant in the Paris Hotel. So it was our 3-year wedding anniversary the day that we had flown to Vegas, so we just put all that on hold and we celebrated the night after. We had a really lovely dinner at the Eiffel Tower restaurant. We had a great view of Vegas and the Bellagio fountains. The food was really yummy. The cocktails were delicious. and it was just nice to kind of experience that part of Vegas as well, because once Viva starts, you just don't really leave the hotel. On Thursday, I had to get up quite early because I had a photo shoot with the Oblong Box Shop. I've met Danielle a couple of times at Viva Las Vegas at the booth that they always have there. And I also work with them quite a lot on the blog. So it was really, really fun to get to model for her new stuff that's coming out, as well as some old favorites. So her and her husband picked me up from the Orleans Hotel and drove me about 15 minutes into a more suburban part of Las Vegas, where they had rented a cute little house. The shoot was with Tara O Photos, who was just so much fun to work with, and the clothing was so cute. I am so excited about this new stuff coming out. Once I was back at the Orleans, it was time to try and meet up with some friends. We ended up bumping into like 90% of the Kiwi contingent at the Mardi Gras bar. Like, just sort of walked past and saw one little group and sat down, and then more people kind of walked past and joined in. And within 20 minutes, it was this big reunion of most of the New Zealanders that were attending Viva Las Vegas. So that was really fun. All of those friends I haven't seen since we left New Zealand back in August last year. So it was really good to just sit down, catch up, have a chat. And then we all lined up to get into the vendor rooms at 5 p.m. when they opened. So if you haven't been to Viva Las Vegas, upstairs at the hotel there are like 2 massive conference rooms which are filled with vendors from 9 a.m. till I think midnight every day. So basically you can just go shopping for vintage things whenever you want, and it is amazing but dangerous and amazing. And they open up their doors at 5 o'clock on the Thursday, and I do always like to be there in line to get in at 5 because you just never know what vintage treasure you might pick out. There's always a good range of bags and hats from some of the vintage sellers, so I do like to get there right on time so that I can pick out any like good bargains or kind of unique things that I would miss out on if I wasn't there at the start. However, it is crazy busy and it's not easy to look at everything, and I think a few of my friends got a little bit overwhelmed with the crazy busyness that is Viva Las Vegas vendor rooms. But it was good to have a quick little look and then go back again later when it's quietened down.
It was the first time ever that I bought stuff.
Later that evening, we invited all of the New Zealanders to come and have a drink with us in our hotel room.
Brandon, you know that is you talking about. Sorry, Del.
And then we headed up into the ballroom to watch some bands, see some dancing, and just get the party started, really. On Friday morning, we ordered room service breakfast. The pancakes weren't quite as good as IHOP, but they were definitely satisfactory. And then we met up with our friends Fran, Sam and Monique and had a little look around the vendor rooms again now that things had kind of slowed down and it wasn't so busy. Before heading into the fashion show at 1 o'clock. A couple of our friends were actually modelling in the fashion show, so that was really exciting to be able to watch it, not just for the amazing wares that were on display, but also to see our friends showing their stuff on the catwalk.
After a year and a half of preparation,
Later in the day, we had actually quite a few things to get to. So after getting changed, the first thing we had to get to was the pin-up meet and greet at the Deluxe Club. I wanted to just go along and meet some of the girls and sort of show my support to them since they were going to be up on stage the next day, and I know how nerve-wracking that can be. So we popped in, kind of said hello, and unfortunately I was running a little bit late, so we didn't get to stay for too long. After that, we headed along to dinner with some of my friends who I have known through a Facebook group since about 2011, 2012, and then I first met them at my very first Viva Las Vegas in 2013. We try and catch up every year, and so that was really, really nice to get to find that time to meet up with them as well. After that was the next event, and we were heading back to the Deluxe Club for the Bombshells Dollies Preview Party. So Bombshells Dollies is a documentary that was filming when I was in the pin-up competition in 2015, and they also filmed a bit last year when Pin-Up Little Bit won. So they were doing the preview party because they are getting really, really close to releasing and finishing the documentary. So we got to see a few little snippets of the documentary, and there was also a Q&A panel with everyone who was in the documentary.
and it's just what's the past? Just go back, come on up, I got a prize for you.
After that wrapped up, we went and had a drink. Before heading along to the Burlesque Showcase. So this was super exciting this year because Dita Von Teese, Dita Von Teese was performing, which is just like mind-blowingly amazing. Matt and I were really lucky to be given tickets from Secrets and Lace to be in the box seat, which was just like, oh, I feel so fancy. And the performances were all incredible, like seeing Dita again. I have seen her perform in her show in Melbourne, but to get to see her perform it again was just such a highlight of my weekend. It was just all round an amazing show. It had run quite late. I think it was running about an hour late. So by the time it finished, it was about 2:30 and we were all so tired. So it was basically straight up to bed, straight to sleep. So that was our first 3 days in Vegas. We had such a good time. You're gonna have to come back and watch part 2, where it's the Saturday and Sunday at Viva Las Vegas, including the car show, the pin-up competition, and just some fun stuff that we got up to on Sunday as well. So stay tuned, part 2 is gonna be up very shortly. And don't forget that you can subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and my blog, and I'll see you soon.